Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yes, sir. Hey, we got our guest, man. Second time around. We got our boy Jiggy in the building. How you doing, man?
I'm blessed. Excited to be here, man.
For sure. Hey, thank you for taking the time out to come through. I know we had to reschedule a few times, but it's good to have you here, bro.
Always. And like I said, man, it kind of worked out perfectly. I got my voice back, so
For sure.
good.
All right, now, bro. I've been seeing you summer everywhere, bro. Like,
sure.
you was speaking on how you did lose your voice and how it, got a little bit exhausting. Like, when you preparing to jump state to state, you feel me? Because I think you was in like Houston or something.
No,
Utah?
this summer we were in Nebraska.
Yeah,
we went to Nebraska.
I'm
and
like,
DC.
how the fuck, bro, end up in Nebraska? You feel me? So speak on even just getting to Nebraska and how that came about.
Well, I had a lasting relationship with my homie Marcy Yates, and he is the founder of the Culture House in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And it's an organization that is a lot like Canvas. They do a lot of community work. They're tapped in with the hip hop and R&B scene out there. They do local showcases and show love to a lot of the supporting artists. I believe 2018 was the first time I ever linked up with them, and that's because I got family in Nebraska. So I was naturally out there. And I just happened to pull up one day at the Culture House and link up with Marcy. And like I said, that was back in 2018. And since then, we've had around 4 or 5 different showcases where we bring artists from Chicago out there. They'll come out here and bring Omaha artists. We just recently had the Oma-Chi Volume 2.
Oma-Chi.
Yeah, Oma-Chi, Omaha, Chicago, you feel me?
Yeah, that's dope for sure. What I would say, what is this? Was that a project?
That was, so basically that was an experience. Like I said, we have been going back and forth from Chicago to Omaha for some years now, but in June 23rd was the first time that we branded it as the first Oma-Chi. And that's when we had a few of Omaha's most promising artists come out with a whole group of Chicago artists. We came out there pretty deep. It was like 13, 14 deep. And yeah, that was the start of the Oma-Chi volume. And we just had the volume 2 last weekend, which was a really huge success. But more than anything, I wanted to make it an experience for them, because it's cool to come out here and perform and everything. That's dope. But they were out here for 2 days and they didn't get no sleep, you feel me? Because we was just on go mode the whole time. We had them, we pulled up on Brian Stinson, Fusion Radio. Yeah, shout out Brian Stinson.
For sure.
We had a really dope interview with them. I had a show at the Wild Hair. I had them pull up. We got in the studio. We obviously did the Oma-Chi, and then we had Art Battle, had them perform at Art Battle as well. So that whole weekend was an experience.
It sounded like you gave some good hospitality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They always do the same. The first time that we came out there was a big motivation for the reason why I was like, all right, I'm gonna go so hard for this volume, is because when we were out there, we got to go on the radio out there in Omaha. We got to do basically the same thing that they did when we came out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about building that relationship between the Midwest cities.
Now, you say you want to make it an experience. Like, explain that experience for the people that missed it and can look forward to volume 3.
Yeah, so basically we had everything lined up to just be right after each other. So they came in on Friday night. We had Art Battle Chicago. Art Battle Chicago is a global art company. It's a global art competition that they do around the world, and we are the promoters and curators for each time they do it in Chicago. So we book performances. We had a dance battle going on last time. We also book a lot of the artists that compete too. So that was the first experience, was having them come out and experience top tier Chicago, not just anything little old showcase. They came out here to something that was valued. Chicago is considered a hot city for Art Battle. So like I said, it was top tier, you feel me? It's the fashionable crowd, the crowd that's gonna come out, that's gonna network, that's gonna spend some money on some artwork, you feel me? So they got to experience that part of Chicago. And then the next day was when we took them over to meet with Brian Stinson, got them on the radio. And then right after that, I had a show at the Wild Hair with Rebel Nation, shout out Rebel Nation. And I had them come be a part of that too. And then right after that, we slid to Healthy Hood for the Oma-Chi. So in that 2 day, that 2 day span that they were out here, was just
moving
constant, constant movement, constant
That's
working.
Now, when you hosting like this hospitality and got places such as a Canvas House, you know, you spoke on that being big on community support. How do you gather that? Because you know, that's good. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear good hospitality and people showing other people around the city. But like, how do you bring yourself to do something like that for people? You know what I'm saying?
Well, a part of it was I understand the struggle of being a independent artist, you know, in a major city. And I've been doing this, like I said, going on 7 years now. So I've been creating platforms for artists and doing local showcases, gathering artists. So, you know, in the last, you know, certain amount of years, I've really built up, you know, I really took the time to build up these platforms and link these artists together and bridge gaps. So now it's a whole community. You know what I'm saying? I say that we have so much momentum where I don't even necessarily have to do much work to promote for a show, because the second that I promote or the second that I post a flyer, there's so many returning artists, you know what I'm saying? There's so many returning vendors, so many returning just entrepreneurs that see the message, that want to be a part of what we're doing.
Nah, you linking with Nebraska artists. Now, Chicago has this stigma of being this violent city, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What is it like when you have an opportunity to actually show other artists the different side of Chicago, you know what I'm saying? The beautiful side of Chicago, I would say.
I think it's beautiful. It really showcases. I really like to take the time to showcase all the good things, because there is a lot of negative stigma about Chicago and the violence. So being able to show these artists, you know, the great side of Chicago, you know, the side that's not always talked about. You feel me? It's an empowering feeling. One, you know, being born in Chicago, having all of my family from Chicago, you know, being able to give it, you know, that good name and really bridge the gap between artists that are from other places. Because just like Chicago, people say it's the city of no love and people don't want to support. A lot of people have that mentality about most major cities that are from there.
Facts.
Yeah, facts.
For sure. Now, you got your single Militant. I see you you rapping the Militant gear right now. Yep. For sure. Talk about that as well, because that's a whole to make something like that and to try to represent what it did. That's a whole movement in itself. So talk about how like you brought that together.
Yeah. So you know, me being on this journey of you know, really finding out about myself and my history and my roots, and just, you know, doing political education and learning more, it put me in a different mind space about my music, you know, because as long as I've been making music, it's always been to unite people. It's always been to highlight the good things and have fun. You know, that's what my music was all about. But now, like, the conscience has been flipped and there's been a switch, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm still Jiggy Bars. There's nothing changing about me other than the delivery and the message, right. You know what I'm saying? And having so much more intention with my vocabulary and the things that I put out there. And also have to know that we're in different times, you know what I'm saying? So to have a positive message has to be dressed differently nowadays. And that's sad to say, Absolutely. But it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I can't be out here, you know, every single song just preaching revolutionary down everybody's throats and they're not gonna listen. Right. You know what I'm saying? Militant was the perfect example for me, because like you said, it's a way to be progressive and have fun at the same time. It was in that video, there's nothing. I didn't say that
in the article.
Yeah, exactly. Literally what you said. But that's truth though, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, this newer generation, it's gonna be harder to get them, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be harder to get the younger generation to move towards progression, because it's been the same way for so long. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're at a space where music it's no longer just music. There's so much tied to it. There's propaganda tied to it. There's things that keep our communities the same. It keeps our community stagnant because we're so used to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we know no other way. But, you know, I felt like it would be selfish of me to hold back all of this information that I've gained, you know, over the past couple months on this journey. So for me, one thing that I really wanted to highlight with moving Militant was the Black Panther Party, you know what I'm saying? And just how they moved as an organization, you feel me? And being militant in general, like, you know, when it comes to certain causes that a lot of influencers don't even like to speak on, you know what I'm saying? it's, you know, I just wanted to be in a space where I'm uniting everybody, but also having fun too, you know, because it's important. It's like anything you do in marketing, you can never come on too strong. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're watching a video in the first 5 seconds, they're preaching it and it feels like they're trying to sell something to you, you know, you're going to scroll right past it. You feel me? So this was really an opportunity for me to be who I am and have a message with what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because the music is already hot. You know, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here stuck in the 90s still trying to preach a message. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything progressive, but more in a fashionable sense to where people are really going to tune in.
Exactly. That's pretty dope, and I'm glad you broke it down the way you did. Now, okay, I'm gonna rewind it back a little bit because this is your second time on here. You don't really need to introduce yourself to us, but talk about, just for those who may be first time listeners, talk about how you came out with the name Jiggy Bars, and like how did you get into music? Yeah,
so my musical career started for me when I was in college. Originally, I had gone by. It was always Jiggy Bars, but you know, people started calling me the college kid. Jiggy Bars basically just came from me, you know, my personality and who I was as a person. I was always outgoing. I was always the fun guy. You know what I'm saying? I was known for throwing parties in college and hosting parties, and you know what I'm saying? So that name Jiggy just kind of stuck with me.
Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yes, sir, and we checking back in with our guest Jiggy Bars. Now, we was over break. We was talking about the Canvas House that you guys have. You said it moved to another location. For those who don't know, talk about like what goes on in Canvas House and like and how you guys continue to continue to push the envelope.
Yeah, so Canvas basically has been an organization for 4 or 5 years. It's a multimedia entertainment production company. So we've got different elements to the organization, from media, photography, videography, dance, music, and events. And basically we've been pushing the culture forward, you know what I'm saying, with different events. We're collaborating now with Healthy Hood, the organization. So we've combined spaces now. So Healthy Hood does a lot of restorative justice type of work, like political education for the communities, offering like free healthcare and Zumba fitness classes. You know, the whole concept behind it is, you know, making sure that your hoods are healthy. You know,
that sound needed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super needed. Every Sunday we have Sunday sessions, which is basically a way for people to come in and practice faith however they want to practice faith, because there's a lot of church hurt between Black and brown people. So this gives people a better identity. We talk a lot about faith through the eyes of liberation. So it's not just we're going to church and we're praising this high figure. We're learning about ourselves, we're learning about our history, we're learning from different faith practices, you know. And Canvas is a lot of the, you know, making these experiences colorful, you know, documenting these different experiences that we're having. And they say that the goal of a revolutionary is to make the revolution irresistible, and that's what we do, you know. Especially with the events and the recaps and, you know, everything, we make it irresistible. And now it's getting to a point where we're just getting more and more people that are wanting to contribute, you know what I'm saying? And they're contributing by helping themselves so that they can help the communities and be in a better mental space.
For sure. Now they say with great power comes great responsibility. So like, how do you, once, you know what I'm saying, you in this motion, like you constantly pushing the envelope, constantly trying to make communities better through art and representation. So like, how do you like disconnect from that? You know, when you just gotta take time off and just, you know, chill out sometime, and be to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like a lot of for me personally, I'll go to the suburbs. I'll go back home, you know, where I'm originally from, where my mom is, you know what I'm saying? And I'll just go cool it, you know what I'm saying? Spend time with her, and just, you know, get that much needed time. So when I come back out here and, you know, we get back to being on routine and everything, you know, I'm not missing a beat because I had that time to really like reflect and, you know what I'm saying, take the much needed time to just, you feel me, charge up.
Absolutely.
Now, you done spoke on multiple collaborations. Why has collaborating with different organizations and different artists been so important to you?
Because I'm not in this journey alone.
I heard that.
Especially with what I'm pushing, the message that I'm pushing, I know that I'm not alone. And these different organizations are just tapped into so much of the community that it has so much more of an impact. If I was just doing this on my own, just out here making music, shooting videos and promoting it, it wouldn't have the same impact that it has now. You know, so the fact that I'm able to not only offer artists the opportunity to come out and perform and, you know, share their art in front of a new crowd, also offer them the opportunity to come work on themselves, to come gain knowledge, to come, you know what I'm saying, pour into yourselves and really practice faith, you feel me? Just to get that collective consciousness, you know what I'm saying, in our communities, which is what we need.
For sure. Now, when you're doing stuff like that, I feel like a lot of times those positive pushes come with somewhat of a delayed gratification. Now,
absolutely.
Especially nowadays, you know, everything is so fast. Everything is so what's hot. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, let's be real, a lot of times positive things ain't looked at and considered as what's hot. But how do you stay down in emotion? You know, like you would probably put your all into trying to help somebody or try to turn somebody over to see this way, but they don't necessarily want to see it now. How do you make sure like you keep doors open throughout stuff like that?
For me, it's just about understanding the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Because even if I was doing this all of this stuff just for self,
right,
you know what I'm saying, it's still gonna take a long time. No, nothing is overnight. You feel me? And if it was overnight, that's not a position that I would want to put myself in. You know what I'm saying? So like the instant gratification doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, I see the impact, even if it's small. But if you can help shift somebody's perspective
for sure
on things, you know what I'm saying, and get them to really like start to understand the bigger picture that like this music and entertainment thing goes so much more deep, you know, so much deeper than just clout. And
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? That right there is you know the feeling that keeps me pushing, you know what I'm saying, is conversations, you know what I'm saying, you can literally change somebody's whole perspective from a conversation. Like you have so much power in your words, you know what I'm saying, and just seeing how it affects people. It could be something as small as people starting to come to Sunday sessions, you know, after coming to one event, you know what I'm saying, we preaching what we preach, and then seeing them come in on a Sunday to work on themselves. You know,
you like this good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you finally take it off and really understand like that, what you here for, when you just a spectator at the time. But one thing about delayed gratification, at the end of the day, it's gonna make you feel better that you stayed down throughout whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, and that you didn't look for acceptance sometimes a little too early, you know what I'm saying. So you really worked. It's gonna put a lot of pride in your work, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And then keeping in mind that the music industry is ever evolving, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to change.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just to stay grounded and rooted into what I'm doing. And I'm not, like I said, that, you know, I'm not looking for that instant clout. Like none of that is even on my mind. The things that, and even from the type of messages that I get from my music, you know what I'm saying? It's not like people just listening to my music to turn up. Like people are listening to my music, hearing the words, seeing the vision, understanding the vision behind the music videos. And yeah, that for me right there is a win.
For sure. And I feel like you always gonna keep a balance in your music too
always,
as well.
Always. You know what I'm saying?
It come with the territory, for sure.
A lot of what you saying right now, it seems like you breaking everything back down to the roots, you feel me? And you learning, like you say, from the Black Panthers and how they put organizations together and how they connected with people. So explain where that thought process started for you to go back and, you know what I'm saying, look at old movements.
Well, a lot of it has to do with my involvement with Healthy Hood, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, a lot of the like restorative justice type of work that they do. And it was really the Black Panther movie, not the, you know what I'm saying, not the Wakanda Forever. I'm talking about the Black Panther movie that came out in the 90s that people don't talk about.
Oh, in the 90s. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, that basically went over the Black Panther Party and their whole organization and how they were defeated and how they moved and how there was infiltrators and all types of stuff. It was that movie that kind of like flipped a switch on like how we need to be moving as a community. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing music, like I said, for 7 years now. So the longer that I'm into this music business and the more research that I do, and it just basically shows that everything has an effect. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a lasting effect. So just seeing how the Black Panther Party moved and how they were so militant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made that song before I even watched that movie, which is crazy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but as far as that movie really, it kind of just like turned on a conscious light inside of my head, just about who I am as a Black man, how I represent myself, how I represent our people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much deeper than just a surface level when it comes to the music industry and the entertainment industry in general. So I really wanted to, you know, flip that switch and take the time to not only motivate but educate. Like, thing is, like I said, I wasn't super upfront about it, like right off the bat in that Militant music video, but I did it in a cinematic way to where people are going to be entertained. And not only are they entertained, now questions are starting to come in their heads. Like, for me, I have a little brother, you know, that's in Nebraska, that is a mixed kid, you know, and that has a lot of questions about himself, you know. So doing stuff like that in the Militant video where I'm rocking the Black Panther, you know what I'm saying, the Black Panther Party uniform, I got the leather jacket, the beret, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna spark questions, like who is this, you know what I'm saying, like even if they were to just hear somebody say, I see he's dressed as a Black Panther, and the kids had like, they're gonna ask like, what's a Black Panther, you know what I'm saying, and they're gonna do that research and really like, you know, have that inquisitiveness. But it happened from me doing something that looked cool, you know what I'm saying, that sounded good, you know what I'm saying.
For sure, using yourself as the vessel.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
What has been the response since you dropped that video?
Oh man, I've had more than a few people say that it was the hardest video of the year. And this is other artists, this is, you know, different people that work with organizations, like all type of people that listen to my music. I've literally had a handful of people tell me that was the hardest video of the year, and that was not my intention. I wasn't going into like, yeah, I'm just gonna make the dopest. I wanted to make something with impact. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it really just flipped a switch in my whole, you know, artistry and like how I want to become and how I want to deliver my music, how I want to deliver my messages.
Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yes, sir. We checking back in with our guest Jiggy Boss. Now, hey, so I had to ask, bro, have you ever dropped an album?
I have not dropped a full album yet, no.
For sure. I was like, I think I've seen some projects, but do you have any plans of an album or anything? Because I know you were saying, you got some new music on the way. You've been displaying it here and there. Would you put together an album for the people?
Yeah, at this point, I'm more interested in dropping shorter projects. I feel like it'll probably be some time before I drop a full album. Mostly because I like to not only test out the waters, but just I have a good time putting together projects. You know what I'm saying? 3 pieces. You know, so but as far as me dropping a full album, though, it'll probably take a little bit before.
I was gonna say albums got different meanings for certain people, you know what I'm saying? So I would ask, what does an album mean to you, especially in these day and times?
I feel like an album is a full body of work that, you know, can't be rushed, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't feel the need to drop an album right away. You know, I'm still growing as an artist. I still think that I'm not even in my prime as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And the things that I'm doing right now are working for me. You know, so me dropping singles and visuals, along with intensely marketing my songs. You know, they're working for me right now. So I'm just going to continue pushing what I'm pushing my tracks, pushing my message, and when I feel it's that time for an album, then we're gonna drop an album and go crazy.
It's definitely important to know where you are in your moment. That's what's up.
I think a lot of artists don't understand that. Like you say, you understand what's working for you. So why switch it up? Especially when you on the grind, when you on the climb too. You know what I'm saying? You still building that like you say, a community. Like a lot of artists cannot bring anybody to a show. You know what I'm saying? And that's because to me they just internet rappers. You know what I'm saying? And at some point you gotta take your craft off the internet, and like you say, you gotta touch the people. And for you to be out here touching the people, especially in Chicago where they say it ain't no love, and you proving that wrong, like I think a lot of artists need to pay attention to that, because it's like, bro, nobody hates you. It's just nobody knows you. You know what I'm saying? Like, pull up, link with these other artists, collaborate with other artists, and grow your base, bro. Like, a lot of artists just be scared.
Then they be like, I seen a post that said, stop trying to be liked by everybody. You don't even like everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's true stuff too. You can't think everybody gonna just gravitate towards you because you're doing something that a lot of people are doing. You know what I'm saying? So for real.
Yeah, and it's very oversaturated right now, the music industry, and just in general, everybody wants to be making music right now. Whether it's just like they feel like they'll get influence from it or clout or whatever it is, but people have to understand the process. Like I didn't start making music last month, you feel me? Like I've been doing this for years. I was deep into the promoting game before I even dropped my first single. So I understood the fact of having to bring people together.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man.
Nah, 2022, bro, this year done flew by. September already, man. What would you say are some of your year-end goals that you have?
Some of my year-end goals, for sure, I want to definitely finish out this quarter and the next quarter strong. Continue pushing my single that I have out now with the music video, as well as continuing to just end the year strong on an events note. You feel me? We have a lot of momentum right now, especially with these past 3 events that we did. So I just want to continue uniting people, continue to do these shows that bring people together and give artists opportunities, give vendors opportunities, and just keep pushing the culture forward, really.
Now, and this is my favorite question. If you can go back and give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
Mostly say that, this is not going to happen overnight. And to stay true to yourself, you know what I'm saying? And to live your truth, because it'll get you so much further. You know what I'm saying? Not that I was ever out here, rapping about a non-existent life, but to truly live, you know what I'm saying? To live in your truth, it'll push your artistry much farther.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Before we get out of here, you got anything else you want to promote, shout out? And can you explain that Cuba button on you?
This Cuba button. So I actually got this. This is we were doing a protest to protest the blockade in Cuba. So I got this button in support of our Cuban brothers and sisters out there that are going through it from our U.S. government. As well with the shirt, this is Trap House Chicago. On the front it says crime pays, and then on the back it has lawyers, judges, police officers, the morgue. Everybody gets paid but us. You know what I'm saying? From violence and death. So
it's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I always like to wear these conversation sparking shirts and buttons and everything to push the conversation forward. A lot of times, whether I'm in the city or I'm out in the suburbs, people will stop me and ask about my shirt. That'll start a conversation.
For sure.
So yeah, shout out Trap House Chicago.
Facts.
For the gear. But yeah, as far as coming up events, we have an open mic on September 17th at Healthy Hood.
Pull up.
Definitely pull up. I know a lot of artists that are looking for the opportunity to perform. So if you looking for a safe space to come get your music heard in front of a new crowd, you know, pop out, slide to Healthy Hood September 17th, and then we got Art Battle on September 23rd. So,
all right, Jimmy, talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to our guy Jiggy Boz, man. We appreciate you for coming around second time, man. And man, it's so much done changed. You know what I'm talking about? Like I told you when you walked in earlier. I'm glad I'm glad to hear you staying optimistic through your journey, because you would be surprised, bro. A lot of people do a lot of great things, but like them great things don't really register to what you're doing if you ain't really feeling too up about it. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes, man, some people can meet somebody that'll change their life, but they not really feeling too up to par. So the effect of meeting that person, nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? But staying optimistic through what you're doing and truly believe in what you're doing, that means a lot, bro. Like, I love hearing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, keep it up. You know what I'm saying? I know you involved in a lot of stuff. Just keep promoting, keep representing. Representation is important to the brand as well. Because I heard of Healthy Hood Chicago, but, like, this is my first time actually hearing somebody sit and talk to me about it. And, like, and like I said, that stuff is needed in our community. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a lot of delayed gratification or overlooking these type of resources that we do have. I know we don't have too many, but overlooking these type of things would kind of make you forget like what's really around you. You know, so shout out to Healthy Hood Chicago, Canvas House. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Keep it pushing and keeping your journey going, man. So hey, make sure y'all get in tune with everything Jiggy Boz got going on. You can follow me on Twitter, Groove Nuke. Like I said earlier, I'm still locked out my IG, so if you want to follow me on there, give it a try. Hit me up on Right to Make It Right, Ill Sound Radio page for right now. Shout out to iLLANOiZE Radio. Make sure you go download that app, most valuable Chicago online radio station. Go download that app. We're streaming music 24/7, submit music. And Jay, what you got to say to him?
Man, shout out to you, bro. A lot of people shy away from our roots as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Just because they feel like they need to be on the popular wave. And to me, that's kind of weird, because like for some reason the Black Panthers get shown in a negative light no matter where they're spoken about, you know what I'm saying? And to understand how much they gave back to our communities and how the higher ups saw this as an issue and a problem, bro, is crazy. So for you to be incorporating that into your day-to-day life and embodying how they move to build your brand, bro, like I don't know if you're gonna know this, but in 5 years you're gonna look back and you're gonna understand everything that you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, that community, bro, that community gonna be powerful and strong. Sure. And then with the internet how it is nowadays, I guarantee you it's some powerful people watching what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So just stay true to your path and stay true to your movement. And bro, the sky the limit for you. All you gotta do is be Jiggy Boz, bro. Don't change. Don't do nothing that ain't comfortable for you, bro. That's what I say. You feel me? So salute to you, bro.